All right, so last class we have seen how to create inquiry, quotation, and order we have created, delivery we have created, and invoice we have created. And also we have seen introduction of written orders, right? So if you want to create written order, we require a invoice. So one complete cycle will be required. So order, delivery, invoice. Then with the reference of invoice, we'll create written order, right? So I think we already created our own document type, I think. So let's check once. Okay. So written orders. So when we create written orders, so whenever the customer place an order after receiving the delivery, if he find any damage in the product, then he will create a written order. So in this case, first the customer has to create an order and delivery and invoice. Then after finding damage, he will create written order based on the normal invoice, right? So now let me check, does our document type has been created or not. So RE is the standard one. So we have adding A before our standard document types, right? So ARE it is already created, right? And also ours also, I mean, yesterday also I think we have created ARE only. So let me check. So written order. So you can see ARE I have maintained, right? So now ARE has been created. What is the second step? These document type we need to assign to our sales area, right? So let me take a new screen. There will open OVAZ. So there will assign our sales area to our document type, right? So what is the T code to assign sales area to document type? OVAZ. Just go to OVAZ and let me check, does I have created or not? So just go to position. Okay, so let me maintain our combination. So if it is not created, so we need to create any new entries. So just let me check, does our combination is there or not? And our document type is ARE. Okay, so ARE is there. So you can see it is assigned. So no need to assign it again. So it is already assigned. So second step is also done yesterday itself, right? Now the third step. So first the customer has to place an order and we need to do the delivery and we need to raise an invoice. And after invoice, the customer found some damage, then we'll create a return order. That means we need to create one OTC cycle. Okay. So directly I'm creating an order. So I'm not creating inquiry and quotation and all. Okay. So if you want, you can create while practicing. So it is not required as of now. So I'll just take order document type is AOR and our sales area, right? So sales area is nothing but combination of sales or distribution channel and division. So just don't confuse. And click on enter. So here, then we'll mention our customer number. That is nothing but sold to party. So here we'll maintain our customer is 5. And then we'll enter our material. Sold to party, and here our material is Dolo. So for example, the customer is placing an order for 10 quantities. Okay. And double click on this line item. So here in the order, we need to check the schedule and tab because the delivery date is important, because after this order, we are going to create delivery only. So while creating delivery, this date, whatever the date it is showing over here in the schedule and tab, the same date we need to mention. Otherwise, it will propose error. Right. Now, just go back. So after viewing our delivery date, we need to check, does our order is completed or not. Okay. So for that, you need to click on this edit and click on incompletion log. Then system will propose if you miss anything or not. So you can see the document is complete. Then we can save it. Now order has been saved. Now I'll copy this order number and then I'll go to delivery. So what is the T code to create delivery? VL01N, right? So we'll go to VL01N. There we'll maintain our shipping point and our delivery date, which we saw in the schedule and tab, and then our order number. Right, then we'll click on enter, then it will allow. So if you mention the wrong date, then system will not allow into delivery. Let me go to VL01N. Screen VL01N. And here you can see order number has been copied automatically and delivery number is also copied. Right, only the shipping point we need to mention. So A100 is our shipping point. You just need to click on enter and you can see we are creating delivery. Now you just need to go to the picking tab and here we need to mention picked quantity. So he is picking 10 quantity. So because he is ordering 10 quantity and we are doing delivery 10 quantity and the customer is picking 10 quantity. Okay. Now we need to do the PGI. So that's it. Delivery has been created. What is the next step after delivery? We'll create invoice. So what is the T code to create an invoice? VF01. Just click on enter and this is our delivery number. So with the reference of delivery, we are creating invoice. You just need to click on enter and it will copy our customer number and our material. So and material quantity. So it will copy from our delivery. Right? You can say $650, 10 quantities and total 10,000 quantities. So each quantity 1,000. So total 10 quantity, that means it is 10,000 quantity. So these 10,000 rupees the customer has to pay. So now one cycle is done. OTC cycle is done. So now the customer has been received the delivery. Okay, so I'll just go to change mode of this invoice VF02 or you can go like this. Okay, this is a shortcut. Okay, now if you find here, you can see document flow. Okay, just click on this document flow, then you will able to know how we have created. You can see order we have created and delivery we have created and invoice is also done. The customer have paid the payment. Right now, after receiving this delivery, the customer finds some damage. Now what he need to do? So he need to create a return order. So obviously if he finds some damage in the product, so he will return only, right? So how he will place a return order based on the invoice only. Right. So directly you won't create separate return order because this company will not find what the customer have placed an order, how much quantity and who is the customer. So he will not find, right? So that's why we required a invoice. So in the invoice, all the details are mentioned. So in which date we have done the delivery and which date the customer is placed an order. So everything will be mentioned in the invoice. So he will take a reference of this invoice, then he will create a return order. Then according to that return order, the company will send a agent to this customer place and that agent will check the material and if he want replace he can replace or else if he want to take back the material so he will take back the material and the company will pay the payment. So whatever the quantity it is damaged, so whatever the cost it is, so those payment will be paid by company to the customer because he is returned, right? Now I'll just take these invoice. This is a normal OTC process. Now we'll create a return order. So now the customer is find some damage, right? So I'll go to VS01. So VS01 is a T code to create. So here we'll create a return order. Just go to VS01 and here in place of AOR, because now I am creating return order, right? So for return order, the document type is ARE. So if you are creating an order, then you will mention AOR. So ARE. So I'm just creating return order. So and next click on create with reference. Now I'm taking a invoice as a reference, right? So then you need to click on create with the reference. So here you need to mention your reference number. Okay, you just go to billing document. So billing is nothing but invoice only and paste your invoice number and click on copy. So whatever the material, whatever the customer it is mentioned in the invoice, so it will copy automatically into our return order. You just need to copy. That's it. Okay, you can see. So now I have not maintained anything. So you can see here we are creating returns and it is copied. From where it is copied? From the invoice, because while creating return order, I have taken reference of invoice. Right now you can see here, you need to mention how much quantity you need to return. So for example, 5 quantities are damaged. So I want to return. This customer want to return 5 quantity. Just mention here how much quantity you want to return over here. Okay. Now here you need to mention the reason or the reason why you are returning it. Okay. So it was damaged. So you can mention the reason. So whatever the reason it is. So poor quality or damaged in transit. Okay. So here somewhere we can see damaged. You can see damage in transit. That is nothing but damage in transport. Okay. Just maintain your reason and remove this block, building block. You need to remove. Okay. And you just need to click on enter. Okay, now I'm creating a return order. That means these 5 quantity again I'm sending to company. Okay, in the normal delivery, the customer is sending those materials to customer now. So this is a return order. So return order means this customer returning these 5 quantity, whatever the quantity I'm maintaining here, this 5 quantity. Now this customer is returning this 5 quantity to company again. Okay. And here you are mentioning the reason why you are returning and all. Okay. And you just double click on this line item and just go to schedule and tab and you can view the delivery date, because we are going to create return delivery as well, right? Order I have created. Return delivery means the agent will come from the company and he will take the material from customer place to company again. That means it is a return delivery only, right? So normal delivery, the company has delivered the goods from company to customer location. Now this time it is a return delivery. Return delivery means from customer location to company location again. The goods are moving. Right. So that we call it as a return delivery. You just go back and check log, incompletion log. Does our document is completed or not? You can see the document is completed. Okay. And you just need to save this return order. So order has been created. So after the return order, what we need to do? We need to return the delivery. So we need to return the delivery quantity, right? So that means we need to create a return delivery. The T code is same, no need to confuse, but the terminology is different based on the scenario. The T code is same, VL01N. Okay. Just go to VL01N and paste your return order number. Okay. And you can give the date and just click on enter. And you can see. So automatically system has found return delivery here. How system will know this is a return delivery? So we have created same T codes. For normal delivery, we have used VL01 only. Then it is showed normal delivery only. So now the same T code we have used, but it is showing return delivery. So where is the control means? So we are having a concept called document type controls. So there we'll see. So how we are controlling this complete documents, right? So in the controls, you will understand where we are maintaining this setup. Okay, so where there I will discuss about this. You can see, and here you can see the picked quantity is showing 0. Okay, so it not as to 0, so it is hidden. So this is a future concept. So as of now, you won't understand. So in item categories, so we are having a field called picked quantity. So that somewhere it has been unchecked. So I just go to that item category. Okay. Maintain 0. It is complete display because here we need to mention our picked quantity as well, right? So the item category is REN. This is a future concept. Just don't confuse. So if you found this error, then you just go to this item category REN. So the T code for item category is VOV7 slash n VOV7. Or you can go to delivery. Okay, okay. So these are delivery item category, right? So for this one, we'll go to 0VLP T code. You just need to go to 0VLP and here go to the item category which is shown in our order. Okay, so which is shown in our delivery. So REN and here relevant for picking. So this is unchecked. So that's why we can't able to mention anything. So it was completely hidden. You can see, right? You can see it is completely hidden. We can't able to maintain anything, right? So this is our future concept. So if you found like this, then you just go to double click on these line item, and here you will find the REN, I mean item category. Okay, so whatever the item category it is showing, so for that you need to go to 0VLP code and go to position and maintain the item category what it is showing, whatever it is showing. Just go there, and if it is unchecked, you just need to check it and just save it. Okay. Now I have checked this checkbox. Now what I'll do, I'll create delivery. So now I haven't saved this delivery now, right? So I haven't saved it, right? So still we are in create mode only. So I haven't saved it. Now again I'll go to VL01N. So it is still in creation mode only, and I haven't saved it. So now you can see this is our return order number, and click on enter, and then just go. Just click on enter, and you can see return delivery. Now it is shown. You can see previously it was hidden. So now we can maintain. So picked quantity. Now this time here you can see in normal delivery we are doing PGI, post goods issue. So in return delivery we are doing post goods receipt. Okay, PGR. So this is the difference between normal delivery and return delivery. So in interview they will ask what is the difference between normal delivery and return delivery. So in normal delivery we'll do PGI, post goods issue. In return delivery we'll do PGR, post goods receipt. So what is the difference? Means if you do PGI in the normal delivery, in the stock, whatever we have done delivery, so it will deduct that quantity, right? So I will just go to MMBE. So MMBE is the T code to view the stock, right? So I'll just maintain our material. So and I will show you. Okay. So in normal delivery, so the stock has to deduct from our plant. So if it is a return delivery, now the customer is returning the delivery to company. That means whatever the customer is returning, it has to add back to company stock only, right? That means it will add. So if you do PGR, whatever the customer is written, so it will add into our system. Okay, so it will update. Okay, so I will show you the example as well. Just go to storage location and execute it. You can see. So now the stock is 9,975. Okay. So after normal then. So now here in this scenario here, I am creating return delivery. Return delivery means it has to add again into the stock. Okay. Because the customer is returning, so it has to update that 5 quantity into the system, right? So you can see the customer is returning 5 quantity. So if you do PGR, then only it will update. Here it will add again in MMBE. Okay, so that means it has to become 9,980. So if I do PGR, if you do PGI, then that 5 quantity it will deduct from here. Then it will become 9,970. Okay, that is the difference. PGI means it will deduct the stock. PGR means it will add the stock. Okay, that is the difference. Right? I will show you now. I am doing PGR, post good receipt. You can see return delivery has been created. Now I will refresh it. Now we'll see the stock is the 5 quantity it is added back into the stock or not. We'll check. I'm refreshing it. Yeah, it is not updating. Maybe this is a server issue, but it has to update over here. Okay. So now I'll just run the C code again. Don't know why it is not adding over here. It has to update, so it is not updating due to the server issue, but it has to update our quantity over here. So whatever we have returned it, so it has to update. So while practicing in your servers, right? So you can check, you can observe these scenarios. Okay. So we check based on these variants. All right. So return delivery has been created. After this, we'll create return invoice. So invoice also be needed, right? So if the customer is returning something, so invoice also created. So in the invoice, it will show. So the customer is returned 5 quantity. So after the invoice has been raised, now the company will pay the amount. Whatever the customer is paid to company, again, the company will return the amount of 5 quantity. That means 5,000 rupees, right? Here in our scenario. Right. So let me create ET code is same, return invoice VF01. So here we'll maintain return order number, not delivery number. Okay, so this is our order number. You can see 154. So return invoice must be created with the reference of return order, not with return delivery. In normal scenario, invoice will be created with the reference of delivery, right? But in the return delivery case, in the return order case, invoice will be created with the reference of return order, not with the return delivery. Okay. So you can see, just click on enter. So you can see 5 quantity. Now this customer is, the company is doing this, paying this 5,000 rupees to this customer. Okay, you can see the 5 quantity. This is a credit for returns. You can see we are creating credit for return. That means this company is paying 5,000 rupees again to customer. Okay, that concept is nothing but create memo request. So our next concept is create memo request only. If the amount is paying to customer from company, that scenario we call it as a create memo request. Okay, so we'll see that later. So now that's it. So if we create return invoice, so we are done with the return process. So I'm just saving it. Now I'll go to document flow, then you will understand. So how the return process will be going on, right? So I'll just go to the change mode. So if you go to display document, so there it will show. You can see standard order. First here, the customer is placed an order and the company is done the delivery and the company is raised an invoice and the customer is paid the amount, whatever the amount it is there, 10,000 here. In this case, normal order. Now here in the return process, the customer is find some damage. Then whatever the quantity it is there, so the customer is returning here. In our case, this 5 quantity he found damaged. Then those 5 quantity is returning in the return order. Now we have done. So here we can see delivery here directly written invoice only, create for return. So the customer is done the delivery. Right now, the customer is raised an invoice. You can see in the return invoice, the company has paid the amount of those 5 quantity. So create for returns. That means here the amount has been created in customer outstanding. So here you can see the accounting entry should be revenue account debit to customer account credit. Revenue account means here company. Customer account means here customer. Right. So here the accounting entry is revenue account debit to customer account credit. That means amount is debiting from the company's account and it is crediting in the customer account. Okay, so this is a process. So in interview, if they ask, you need to explain like this. So the customer has, whenever the customer places an order and we do delivery and we'll raise an invoice. So when the customer is found some damage in the product, then he will place a return order. So based on the reference, based on the invoice, we'll create a return order and then we'll do the return delivery. Then we'll raise a return invoice. Then we'll do the credit memos. Credit memo means again the company has doing payment to customer. Whatever the customer is paid, so he is returning for those 5 quantity. So for those returned quantity, the customer will pay the payment. Okay. So this is how you need to explain returns process. Okay. So this is how it will go. The backend. This is about return order. And the next concept is credit memo request. So credit memo request is nothing but whatever the scenario it is, the amount has to debit from the revenue account and it has to credit in the customer. So whatever the scenario it is. So here there is no good movement here. Here the movement is in within the price amount. The amount is moving from the customer company outstanding to customer outstanding. So whatever the reason it is, whatever the scenario it is, but the accounting entry should be revenue account debit to customer account credit. Okay. So for example, I will give some examples of this create memo request, then you will get an idea. Okay. For example, user mistakenly overcharged. Okay. For example, so I went to the shop. Okay. I purchased iPhone. Okay. I went to the store. I purchased iPhone. The actual price of the iPhone is 1 lakh. Just assume that. Okay. Now the shopkeeper has given the same 1 lakh iPhone to me for 1.2 lakhs. Now he has charged how much extra? 20,000 extra he have charged. Right. Now what I'll do? So that means here I have created one order, delivery and invoice. In the invoice, I got to know that he has charged extra 20,000. The actual price is 1 lakh only, but extra he has charged 20,000. Now I went to the shop again. So in the invoice, I will show you the actual price is 1 lakh, but you have charged 20,000 extra. Right. Now what happened? So I have already paid 1 lakh 20,000. So after that only he have raised an invoice to me. Now I went to the shop. I asked him, so you have charged extra 20,000. So in this scenario, we'll create memo request. Now what he will do, the shopkeeper, so he will return those 20,000 again to the customer. Right. That means he will returning the amount. That is nothing but here the shopkeeper is a revenue account. From the revenue account, debit to it is crediting in the customer account outstanding. So that concept we call it as a create memo request. This is one of the scenario. Right. The amount is moving to customer account from company's account. So that is create memo request. So whereas debit memo request here, it is reverse of this create memo request. Here the amount should be moved customer outstanding to revenue account, company's account. So in this same like the create memo scenario only, in the debit memo request scenario, the company is charged very low price. So same iPhone scenario I will take. The actual price is 1 lakh for iPhone, but the company is charged 80,000 only. Okay, now what the company will do? So he is asking, so actually the price is 1 lakh. Now he is saying that, so I have charged 80,000 only. So remaining 20,000 the customer has to pay. Now the customer will again pay 20,000 to company. So here the accounting entry is customer account debit to revenue account credit. So it is a reverse of this. Okay. So here in the create memo request, the amount is moving towards customer outstanding. Here in the debit memo request, the amount is moving towards customer to revenue account. Okay, so here mistakenly you have overcharged in the credit memo request. 1 lakh rupees price, you have charged 1.2 lakhs. In the debit memo request, 1 lakh rupees iPhone, you have charged 80,000 only. Right. That is a scenario. That is one of the scenario. Okay. Or else you can take one more example. So the return scenario also you can take for credit memo. The goods are completely damaged. So first the customer is placed an order for 10 quantity. So we have done, the company have done delivery and he have raised an invoice. So whatever the price is there for 10 quantities he have paid. So after receiving the delivery, the customer is find damaged. The same return scenario you can see. Right now, the customer is created a return order, return delivery and return invoice. Now whatever the 5 quantity the customer is written. So for those 5 quantity, the amount has to be paid by the company only. So here the accounting entry is revenue account debit to customer account credit. This is one of the scenario. Create memo. Okay. So one more scenario for debit memo. If you take, for example, you can take here debit memo means here the accounting entry should be here customer account debit to revenue account credit. Okay, that means here for all right. Okay, the standard document type for create memo request is CR. So we are going to create our own as ACR. And here for debit memo request, the standard one is DR. So we are going to create as ADR. Okay, so I'll just create both at a time. Okay, so now We'll go to Vivo V8 first. Go to Vivo V8 and then select the standard one for credit memo. The standard one is CR. Just go to the position and mention CR and select it and click on copy. Make it as ACR and click on enter and click on yes and enter again and save it. Okay. And also do it for the same like for credit memo. So however we have done for credit memo, so same for debit memo as well. Just go to the position and search for the standard debit memo request, that is DR, and copy and make it as ADR. That's it. Just click on enter and yes and enter again and save it. That's it. Right. So both create memo, debit memo requests document types are created. Now these two we need to assign to our sales area. Okay. So now I'll just go to the T code OVAZ and go to the new address. Click on enter. Here mention our sales area and our document type for credit memo ACR and do it for the debit memo as well. And ADR for debit. Just click on enter and save it. Okay. Now we'll create credit memo request. Credit memo request is nothing but here the accounting entry should be revenue account debit to customer account credit. So the scenario is here user mistakenly overcharged. Okay. So in our case, our material is Dolo. So Dolo, the actual price is 1000 rupees, but mistakenly you have charged 1200 rupees for each sheet. Okay. So that scenario we need to do. Right now, we'll go to first we'll create order because in the order only, right? So he has to mistakenly overcharge, right? The scenario, the process should be first order A1, A100, A1 and A1. Go to order. So in this order only, the user mistakenly overcharged. Okay. So now go to material. Okay, so I'll just take one because we need to understand, right? So I'll just take one quantity only. So just assume that, so the actual price is 1000. Okay, go to condition. Actual price is 1000, but mistakenly you have charged 200. Okay, for one sheet. So I'm saving this order. Now I'll create delivery. BL01N. Mention shipping point. Click on enter. And go to picking tab. Okay. Pick quantity, one quantity, and do region. Okay. So delivery is also done. So in the delivery and in the invoice, go to EF01 and create invoice. In the invoice, they have mentioned, you can see one sheet, 1200 rupees. So this is a mistaken invoice, but the actual price is 1000 only, right? Now with the reference of this invoice, we are going to create credit memo. Now the whatever the extra amount is there, the 200 rupees, now the company has to pay to customer. Here the accounting entry is revenue account debit to customer account credit, right? Invoice has been created. With the reference of invoice, we'll create credit memo. Okay, the T code is VA01 and here the order type for credit memo request is ACR and click on create with the reference and paste your billing document number, that is nothing but invoice number, and click on copy. It will copy. Okay. So you can see the actual, they have mentioned 1200, but the actual price is 1000 only, right? So you just need to go to sales tab. So here, this one tab. So here just you need to remove this billing block. So we are removing the block. Okay. And we are giving the order reason. Why you are creating this credit memo request? Because the price was discrepancy. The price was too high. Just maintain the reason. Price was too high. You can see price discrepancy. Price was too high. Right. Now just go back and here in the condition, you just need to mention the actual price of this 1000. Just save this create memo request and then we'll create memo invoice. So here we don't have any goods movement, right? Only the amount is transferring. Okay. We directly will create invoice. We don't have delivery here. So the reference of that create memo will create memo invoice. You can see 1,000 rupees. So we are billing second invoice we are creating with actual price here. Okay. So previously that was 1,200. Now I'm giving the correct invoice, which is 1,000 rupees. Okay. So this is what happened in the backend. The amount will be paid to customer. So this is about create memo. The same like you can create debit memo. Okay. So slash n, I'll just take invoice. Just do one thing. Okay. So directly firstly I'll create one order for debit memo. Debit memo here in this case, here the price was too low here. The actual price is 1,000, but the company starts 800 only. The scenario is like that. Here the customer has to pay the remaining amount to company here. That is the difference between credit memo and debit memo. So I'll just take one quantity here. Click on enter. Now go to the condition tab. Just maintain. The actual price is 1,000, but mistakenly we have charged 800 rupees only. Just save this order and delivery slash and VL01. Okay. Click on enter. Mention picked quantity and do PGI and sorry, invoice VF01. This is our delivery number. So you can see mistakenly you have charged 800 rupees. So with the reference of this invoice, now they are going to create debit memo invoice, debit memo request, you can say. So debit memo request. Now, so I have charged 800 rupees, but the actual price is 200. Remaining 200, the customer has to pay to company. Right. Now I'll just copy this wrong invoice. This is a wrong invoice only, right? Mistakenly it is undercharged. So now I'll create debit memo BA01 and the document type for debit memo request is ADR. Now click on create with reference and paste your billing document number, the wrong billing document number, and here just go to sales tab. So here you need to remove the billing block first and give the order reason. The price was too low. Price discrepancy, price was too low, mistakenly undercharged. Right, you just need to save this debit memo request, then we'll create debit memo invoice, the actual invoice. Sorry, we need to change the price as well, right? Let me go to change mode of this debit memo. If you double click on it, so we'll go to the line item data and just go to condition tab. Just make it as 1,000. The actual price we need to mention because we are correcting the invoice, right? Mistakenly, they have overcharged in the credit memo, they have undercharged in the debit memo. So we are correcting it. Okay, and whatever the amount has to distribute, so that will be done based on these invoices. Okay, just go to VF01 and paste your debit memo request number, document number, and click on enter. So it will show the correct invoice. So based on the two invoices, the previous invoice and this invoice, debit memo invoice, they will verify it, and whatever the amount has to pay to company or customer, it will transfer. That's it. So this is about create memo and debit memo. That's it. And the next concept is invoice correction request. So that we'll see in the next class. Okay. Invoice correction request. So it is also correction of invoice. So here in the debit memo, credit memo also we are correcting the invoice, right? But we are having one more concept called invoice correction request. In the name itself, it is there. We are correcting the invoice. So we'll see what is the difference between these two, credit memo and debit memo, and this invoice correction request. You can see the flow as well: order, delivery, invoice, and debit memo request and debit memo invoice. Okay. So we'll connect tomorrow. Okay. So we'll see invoice correction request and rush orders and cash sales. Okay. We'll complete these document types. Okay. So tomorrow we'll see. Okay, then we'll connect tomorrow. we'll see the rest of document types. Okay, and I will upload this video today, end of the day, and you can watch by tomorrow morning. Yeah. Okay then. Thank you. We'll connect tomorrow.
Bye, Sweet.
Yeah. Thank you.